not fearful of Donald Trump. I've never been fearful of Donald Trump.
President Donald Trump tweeted, "Long live the king." I'm here to say New York hasn't labored under a king in over 250 years. We sure as hell are not going to start now.
Hochul says Pam Bondi overstated that inquiry and that instead of bringing charges, it was a civil litigation.
So I had to point out that her lack of understanding the law was very troubling. That being said, she came after me. They're coming after the Attorney General. They're coming after a candidate for mayor. So the question is, when will Pam Bondi stop politicizing the Department of Justice and just do their jobs?
He's called me venomous. He's called me disgraceful. He's called me radical. He's called me a racist. None of his behavior, which can best be described as performative, will change what's happening in the courtroom. And nothing will change that. Not the attacks on me or anyone. At the end of the day, we are here to seek justice, and we will seek justice.
The AG is also part of a lawsuit against NIH cuts, Department of Education cuts. There's 23 in total she's a part of. She's also waiting to hear the results of the appeal of the $455 million Trump owes after James won that civil fraud case against him and his family.
But we are here to enforce the law, and nothing will change that. No attacks, no words. I will not give in. I will not give up. I will only serve justice and enforce the law.
Ladies and gentlemen, your humble YouTuber Hannibal here. And we have to talk about this. Power protecting power. Play for pay. That's the theme today. Letitia James built her whole brand saying that no one is above the law, and yet somehow she funneled nearly $500,000 in taxpayer cash to Governor Hochul's husband's firm, and just happened to get that $10 million legal shield the same day the feds came knocking. Is it a coincidence or corruption in plain sight? So shout out to White Collar Fraud. They did it again, brought another bombshell story, so we're going to talk about it. Let's get into it. Back in February 2023, Letitia James signed a $325,000 contract with Davis Folk, a big name law firm, for 14 months. Not a single dollar paid out. Then, in January 2024, William Hochul, Governor Kathleen Hochul's husband, joins David Folk's White Collar Investigations Unit, specializing in defending clients under federal scrutiny. And then boom, the payments started flowing. But the contract was already expired. Therefore, they filed it 37 days late. Does this make any sense to anyone? Sounds pretty sketchy to me. What do you guys think? And speaking of shady deals, there's more going behind the scenes than just expired contracts and quiet payouts. Let's talk about something else that the feds are watching, the Medicare industry. While Letitia James is handing out taxpayer cash to her friends of the governor, allegedly, the DOJ is cracking down on also some of the biggest Medicare providers for scamming seniors. That's why I partner with Chapter, a company doing it the right way. They compare over 24,000 Medicare plans to help you or your folks find what actually fits, not what fattens someone else's pockets. No robocalls, no scams, just real people and free help. Most people working with Chapter save over $1,100 a year. Call 262-454-0419. Again, that is 262-454-0419. Links in the description and pinned comment. Check it out. Don't let your health plan be another bad setup. Let's get back to it. So we're gonna check out the money trail, how it all began. So this is April 30th, 2024, the first payment hits. That's about $231,000. Then by June of 2025, the AG office had paid Davis Folk almost $500,000. All after the governor's husband joins the firm. But Letitia James was already under the fire for mortgage lies, residency fraud, and other campaign finance issues. Therefore, she needed legal firepower, the exact kind Davis Folk offered. May 8th, 2025, the triple payday. The Guardian reports that there's a grand jury open in Virginia. The New York Post says that there's a FBI probe confirmed. Then the New York State comes with their budget, $10 million in a legal defense shield pass. That same day, one for each headline. You cannot make any of this up. But Hochul framed this as protection from the federal retaliation. Therefore, they spun it like James was just a political target, not a potential fraudster that paid to get that $10 million fund. Remember, taxpayer fund. The money that we're gonna be putting in, all that taxpayer money that me and you, especially the people who live in the New York State, paying for her to protect herself from all of the mortgage nonsense that she's been doing for the last couple of decades. James used her official AG social media account to defend herself. She claimed that her power of attorney was signed electronically. It wasn't. She never meant for the form to be used for mortgage approval. It was. Her staff witnessed the form under penalty of perjury. They did. But the law says that any false statement to a financial institution is a crime. It doesn't matter if it was the basis or not. Therefore, her defense doesn't hold. So the fallout of all this is just like any other political corrupt scandal. You have to follow the money. So what we know now, $483,000 went to Davis Folk after William Hogel joined. William made $949,000 last year, 2024. Davis Folk got no AG money before he joined. Then Letitia James gets under federal investigation. Kathleen Hogel signs that $10 million legal shield the same day. It all connects. I mean, come on, let's keep it a buck here. This is not a random alignment of the stars. This is a planned strategy. This is a blueprint. This feels like a chessboard move where all the pieces know where to go and when. Letitia's office goes ghost on a contract for over a year. $0 out the door. Then when the governor's husband, a guy who isn't exactly working for free, walks into Davis Folks' office, and then boom, nearly $500,000 in payments magically appear. That's not just sketchy, that's synchronized. It's a plan. And don't even get me started on the state budget. That bad boy was over a month late, and then suddenly, on the same exact day the feds launched that full-blown investigation, Kathleen Hogel slides in that $10 million legal defense fund like it was a casual line item. That's not a budget, that's a bailout. This feels like insider tag team wrestling. James protects the firm, feeding the governor's family, and then the governor builds a tax-funded legal shield around her political homegirl, while the public, me and you, are out there paying the bill. And not one peep from the ethics committee. No comptroller audit. No one is going, hey y'all, maybe this looks a little shady. That silence is probably not accidental. That's the same quiet hum of the machine running exactly how it was designed. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Whether this plan got drawn up on a napkin in a meeting or just do some well-placed text messages, the point is the job got done. And now we're left asking the question, we hope we don't. Who is really working for the people and who's really just working for the system? This isn't a conspiracy theory, it's documented. Late contracts, suspicious payments, public defenses using official channels, and a governor who just happened to protect the person paying her husband's firm. You cannot make any of this up. This is a playbook of insiders protecting insiders. And if this is what they're doing in plain sight, imagine what is buried in the redactions. And I also want to mention this. I think Letitia James' main mode of defense is obviously get the best possible lawyers. Obviously, you got the $10 million legal shield, so she can do that. And she wants to go out there to continue to sue, continue to go back and forth with Trump. She wants to be the progressive hero because that's going to be what she needs to save her butt. But we're going to talk more about that in the next video, about how she is basically going after cops in the state of New York. I'm not making it up. That will be in the next video. If you're interested in the next video, hit the subscribe button. This is the kind of content that we have on this channel. If you haven't been subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit a like as well. That always helps the algorithm. I think that's what they all say. Let me know what you guys think about this story in the comments below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.